In this week's Market Watch, we get insights on the cattle market from Mike Bumgarner of United Producers. Cattleman to Cattleman's Joe Sheely caught up with Mike at one of United Auctions facilities in Paris, Kentucky.
Market Watch, brought to you by Fort Dodge Animal Health.
United Producers is a farmer-owned cooperative. We represented about 40,000 members throughout the Midwest. We operate 41 facilities in a 6-state area. 21 of those facilities are auction facilities. The other 20 are collection points. We'll handle this year about 800,000 to 900,000 head of cattle, about 2 million hogs, and about 250,000 lambs through our facilities. The people that do business here are our bosses. They're the ones that are, in fact, own these facilities that we operate. So everything we do is in their best interest.
Mike says high grain prices bring a lot of uncertainty into the coming year.
First half of the year, I think, is going to be a difficult time, predominantly for our cow-calf producers and feeder cattle market. I think the uncertainty in the grain markets obviously are going to have a big bearing on what buyers do for cattle and how many cattle they're going to feed, or if they will feed in some cases. I think as you look into the second half of the year from a price level, I think you can be a little more optimistic as far as the fed market, because the numbers will tighten up as we get later in the year.
Weather has also had a big impact on the industry, especially in the southeast.
We've seen a lot of liquidation just because of the lack of feed sources here in this area predominantly. As you get in some of the other parts of the trade area that we work in, obviously you have different scenarios, but I think we're a few months, a few years away from seeing a lot of retention of heifers. I think we have a need to build up our herd back again here in Kentucky, but that's not going to come through heifer retention. That's going to come from buying someplace else and bringing them in.
For cow-calf producers, the current business climate puts a premium on adding value and operating more efficiently.
The big things we're seeing with this is obviously the verification, source verification, not as much on the age verification, but predominantly source verification, and not concerns, but needing to look out and make sure things are in order as cool is implemented later this year. I think the other things that are occurring in the marketplace is the whole area of some brand identification with livestock and the product coming out to the retail end, and the need to do a better job identifying those on the front end and making sure we're meeting those demands for the various branded programs that are out there. As we look at where this industry is going, our cattle industry, we have to become more efficient producers. Statistics that we see from our low-cost producer to our high-cost producer on a cow-calf basis, we see that range somewhere close to $150 a head. The ability to be able to track these animals and weed out the bad ones and continue to focus on our superior genetics is a must at all levels.
From Paris, Kentucky, this is Joe Sheely for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.